Hi. Yes, guys, welcome to our today's session. My name is Issa Ngoie. I am Cisco, Microsoft, IBM, and CompTIA instructor. Beside that, I'm also a lecturer in the Department of Computer Science. Today, we are going to talk about switches and routers. This is video number 3. Remember, guys, if you want to get your registration, you need to use the email below and my WhatsApp number in order for me to register you. You need to send to me your full details and your contact number. You can WhatsApp to me, right? So this training, it's CCNA 1. Normally, it takes 10 videos and 10 days, right? So you need to watch those 10 videos, go to the platform, and write exams. So exams are already there, right? So once you get your registration, go to the platform and do your exams while you are watching my videos. So today we're going to talk about switches and routers. Basically, we are going to talk about how to access them, how to configure them, right? So let me try to share first my screen. Oh, you know what is a switch? So a switch is a network device, right? So when we're talking about a switch, we can see a network device, right? It's the same as a router. So let me type it down for you. So switch is a network device. We spoke about it already, right? So what we're gonna do, so I will go straight to the platform and I will be explaining there, not to the platform, but to the simulator. Okay, let's say you wanna configure a switch, right? We're gonna drag and drop one switch here. You click on network devices, you click on switches. Let's pick up the first one. So you just drag and drop a switch there. So what you're gonna do next, you need a desktop or a laptop. So I'm gonna pick up a laptop. So what you're gonna do next, you need what we call a console cable. All right, you can see it here. Here in one of my pictures here. Let me show you a console cable the way it looks like. Yeah, so this is a console cable, right? You need a console cable. So we're gonna take it from the simulator here. You plug from the laptop. Don't use a USB port for now. We're gonna use a serial from the simulator. It's RS232. You plug there, you go to your switch, you plug. But remember, guys, from the switch, you are using a console port, right? So a switch will have a console port and your laptop will have a serial port or your desktop. But if you don't have a serial port, you're going to use a USB port. We need an adapter, USB to serial, right? So you can see what we call a serial, a console port here. So those are the console port, right? You can see a console port. Normally, it's here. So to configure or access the switch, you will need those elements. So you're gonna need, let me first make it black. So you're gonna need a console cable. It's normally blue, right? and you have to plug it to the console port in the switch, and serial, right? From the laptop, use serial. But if not serial, but if you don't have serial, if you don't have serial, use an adapter serial to USB. So those are the elements you need. You need a console cable. You need to plug it to the switch by using a console port from the switch. And you need to plug it to the laptop using a serial port. But if your laptop doesn't have a serial port, you need an adapter for it, right? So you need an adapter serial to USB. So basically, this is what we do here. Now we're gonna try to access the switch. You just click once on the switch. We're gonna wait a bit. My laptop is a bit slow, I don't know why today. So just click once, you go to desktop. This time you go to terminal. Don't go to command prompt. You go to terminal, you say okay, and you press enter. So this is how to access the switch, right? Let me give you basic command. Enable, you press enter, configure terminal, you press enter, right? We're gonna change the name of the switch, host name, switch 1, flow 1, you press enter. So this is how to access the switch, right? Let me start again, click over. So at this time around, so I'm gonna take a router. You go to your router first, you put it there, right? You look for a laptop, even a desktop, no problem. You look for your console cable. This is a console cable here. And you go to your router. You look for console port, you plug. How to access it? You go to your laptop, you go to desktop, you go to terminal, you say okay, and you press enter. Because it's a router, you must say here no. You press enter, you press again enter. All right, so twice enter. Now you're gonna say again same command, enable, configure terminal, press enter, and you can change the name of the switch. Host name, this is the command. You can call it router 1 flow 10. You can see even here the name changes, right? So this is basically how to access a switch and how to access a router. Let me explain here. Let me first stop sharing. So guys, we're talking about switches and routers, how to access them, right? For you to access a manageable switches or a manageable switch and a manageable router, you need only a console cable first, right? That console cable, you're gonna use it from your laptop to the switch. Your laptop must have a serial port. If there is no serial port, you need an adapter for it, right? You need an adapter that can convert serial to USB. After that, you go to your laptop, you check for the console port. right? And from the console port, you can plug there. So after plugging, you need to go to the terminal, right? But your laptop, how to go to the terminal from your laptop must have a terminal emulator software, must have a software. That software, we call it an emulator, like a terminal emulator, right? You can look for them here. Let me first share and so we spoke about how to access. You need a console cable here, right? You have to plug it using a console port. You need a serial port from your laptop, but your laptop will need a terminal emulator, right? Like Party, right? So you can just go to the internet here and you ask here list of terminal like emulators. Let's see them here. Okay, you can see them here. You can use Teratem, you can use Patty, you can use Secure CRT. Those are the terminal emulator you need on your laptop, guys. Remember, your switch, your laptop will be connected using a serial cable. Now, from that serial cable, your laptop need a terminal emulator that will allow you now to access the configurations of the device, right? But you need to download. You can download Secure CRT, you can download Teratem, you can download Patty. This is how to access Cisco switches and routers, right? So guys, what you need a console cable, you need a terminal emulator, right? Like Secure CRT, like Teratem, like Patty. Those are the things you need on your laptop, right? So after plugging, you are going to go to Secure CRT or to Patty. You just run it or you load it, and it will bring you to the configuration page, right? Okay. Now, what are the commands when you access? So you can see here, you need a rollover cable. This is the console cable. This is the console port, and this is the adapter that you are going to be using. Let me see, maybe I'm not even sharing. Oh yeah. So you can see here from my documents, you have a console port, you have a rollover cable, and you have an adapter here. Now, what to do when in? What to do when you access the device for the first time? The device for the first time, right? So you need to understand this, guys. When you access the device, Cisco devices will come with different mode, right? Switches or routers, switches and routers will have different mode that you can identify using symbols, right? So you can identify those modes using symbols, guys. Very important, right? Like there is what we call user mode. User mode, you will see it. The symbol attached, it's this one. Like example, you're gonna see. So when you see this, it means you are in a user mode. Means that you cannot do much. You cannot do your configuration here. So you cannot do your configurations here. You need to go to a higher level. So a higher level is called a privileged mode. Like identified by, right? So when you here, guys, you cannot do much. You need to move to a higher mode. That higher mode will have what? Right? So how to move from here to a higher mode? So you are here, you wanna go, you wanna come here. This is where you're gonna use the first command, this command, the enable one. So you wanna move from here to here, you're gonna use the enable command. All right. So this is a user mode and this is a privileged mode. Right. So this is what we call a user mode. And this is the privileged mode that we're gonna see later on, guys. Right? So here you can do few things. Here you can monitor the device, monitor the device, or view device configurations, and do basic, very basic configurations. Right? So from here, guys, from the privilege mode, you can monitor the device. You can view configurations of the device, and you can do basic configurations. Now, in order for you to do advanced configurations, the actual configurations, you need to go for another mode that we call a configuration mode. You need to go to the configuration mode, right? And so from here, you need to go to configuration mode by typing this command, configure terminal. Right now, you're gonna go to the configuration mode. This is how the configuration mode looks like. Right? So it's gonna have the name of the switch, and there's gonna be config. So those are the three commands, guys, you need, right? Let me summarize them. They are here. So guys, we have a user mode where you cannot do much, you cannot do more, you cannot do configurations from the user mode. How will you know that you're in a user mode? The symbol will show you. How to move from a user mode to a privileged mode? You must type the command enable and you press enter. So it's gonna bring you here. This is the privileged mode. How will you know that you're in privileged mode? it's going to be, this symbol will show you that you're in privileged mode. But here you can only monitor, view, and do basic configurations. How to move to higher mode? Configure terminal. Right? When you tap this comment, it's going to bring you to the configuration mode. This one, you will know it by config here. This is the highest level. Means this is where you're going to do the actual configuration. So this is the first one. The second one is the privilege mode, and the third one is the configuration mode. Those are first the three basic modes: the user mode, the privilege mode, and the configuration mode. Let's go to the configurations. Let's start again. So I'm going to pick up a router here, like a desktop. And this is maybe, I'm going to pick up a switch. And I'm going to take a console cable here. You go to console, you plug, right? You go to your computer, you go to desktop, and you go to terminal. And you're going to press enter. So this is the user mode. You can see the symbol here. You cannot do much. Later on, we're going to see what you can do in user mode. You cannot do much. How to move to a higher level? You type the command enable, right? And you press enter. After typing enter, you move to the configuration mode. What are the things you can do in configuration mode? You can monitor the device, you can view the configurations, and you can do basic configurations. How to move to this mode to another higher level mode? Configure terminal, right? And you press enter. This is the configuration mode. This is where you can do the configurations, right? So from the privilege mode, you can only do basics. From the configuration mode, you can do advanced configurations. Let's change the name of the switch. Host name, this is the command. Paste the name that you're going to give to the device. Remember, naming is very important in IT or computer science, right? You must give a name that is meaningful. Like a name of the device must show the location of the device, the operating system installed. Maybe you can say switch 1 floor 10, switch 1 floor 10, Windows 10, right? Switch like SW floor 2. You press enter. And when you wanna come up, you can go back, right? What you can do when you wanna go back, you can just say exit. Suppose like you are here, you wanna go back to configuration mode, you can exit, right? So if you wanna go back again to the user mode, you can exit again and you press again, enter. So return means like enter. So we can practice again, like enable, configure terminal. If you wanna go back, you exit again, right? So guys, this is how to access switches and routers. Remember guys, what you need a console cable, you need a terminal emulator that you're going to download and you put it on your computer, right? And when you are done, when you access the device, remember that Cisco devices, routers will come with different modes. You will have different modes. In each mode, you have some configurations you can do there, right? So you must know those modes and how to move between them, right? So after plugging your switch, no, like after plugging your cable, you go to your terminal. When you access the configurations, you must remember that a device will have different mode. In which mode you are, very, very important. You must always know in which mode I am. Some of the comment cannot work because you are using a wrong mode. You must always know in which mode you are and what are the things can be done in that particular mode, right? So we have a user mode, a privilege mode, and a configuration mode. Those are the three modes we spoke about. User mode, you cannot do much. How will you know that you are in user mode? You can see the symbol superior, right? And you cannot do much. How to move from a user mode to a privilege mode? You must type the command enable. When you type it, it's going to bring you to the configuration modes. How will you know that you're in configuration mode? You're going to see the symbol, right? And from there, what you're going to do, and you must know that from the privilege mode, I can only monitor the device. I can view the configurations of the device, and I can only do very basic configurations that we are going to discuss about. So three things you can do in privilege mode. You can monitor the device, you can view devices configurations, and you can do basic configurations. Now, how to move from the privilege mode to a configurations mode to another higher level mode? You're going to type the command configure terminal. Now you're going to go to configuration mode, right? And from the configuration mode, this is where you're going to do the actual configurations, right? So try to practice, try to load switches, routers, try to access them, and try to master those three modes. And we are going to meet in our next videos where we're going to see advanced configurations. We are going to carry on with switches, routers, configurations. Thank you very much.